Calculation number 9 is inverse Laplace transform using partial fraction. Letter A is x of s is equals to 5 over s raised to 3 minus 5 or s squared minus 6s. Letter B is x of s equals to 2s minus 3 over s raised to 3 minus 10s squared plus 25s. Letter C is x of s is equals to s squared minus 1 over s4 or raised to 4 plus 16s squared. Letter D is x of s equals to 3s minus 5 over s times s squared minus 2s plus 5. So letter A, we have to perform a partial fraction Laplace transform or inverse Laplace transform. And first is we have to factor the denominator. And then next is we have to use in order to solve the certain given, which is A is equals to 5 over the s plus 2 times 5 minus 3 or s minus 3 mean. So you have s equals to 0. In A, so we have to get the denominator of B and the C. In order to solve the value of A, and the value of A is 5 over negative 6 or negative 0.83. So in letter B, we have to get the value of B by getting the denominator of A and C. And S equals to negative 2 because in order to 0 the denominator of B. And distribute the 2 and it will become 0.5. And in letter C, get the denominator of A and B, and then s equals to 3 so that we can get the denominator of B into 0, and then distribute the 3, it will become 1/3 or 0.33. And then we have to perform a Laplace transform on each letter, equivalent of each letter A and B, C. So Laplace transform of 0.83 over s and so on. And we have to inverse Laplace transform of negative 0.83 over s is 0.83 plus Laplace transform of 0.5 or inverse Laplace transform 0.5 over s2, and then the final answer. So in letter B, we have to get the inverse Laplace transform of 2s minus 3 over s cubed minus 10s squared plus 25s. And we have to solve in order to solve the value of A, B, and C. Equal to A over S plus B over S minus 5, C is over S minus 5 squared. So get the value of A. The value of A is the denominator, 2S minus 3, the denominator of the C. And equate to S equals to 0. And distribute to 0, it will become negative 3 over 25. And letter C is we have to perform the derivative in 2s minus 3 over s so that we can get the exact value of C. Derivative because of the given equation, which is 2s over 3 over s. And then we have to use to solve the letter B. So we have 2s minus 3. If we distribute the s minus 5, s times s minus 5 quantity squared. And we have the value of a, negative 3 over 25 times s minus 5. And then we have plus bs times s minus 5 plus 0.12s. And then simplify or expand the s minus 5 quantity squared, and then get the coefficient or the value coefficient of s squared. It will become 0 is equals to 3 over 5 or 25 plus b, and the value of b is 3 over 25. The value of coefficient is depend to the given, and we have to perform the inverse Laplace transform on each letter. Value of letter A is 3 over 25 over s, plus the letter B is 3 over 25 over s minus 5, plus the letter C is 0.12 over s minus 5 quantity squared. And then we have to perform the inverse Laplace transform and get the final value on each given, which separated by the operation. So we have letter C, which is x of s equals to s squared minus 1 over s raised to 4 plus 16s squared. So we have to get the inverse Laplace transform using partial fraction. We have to put the value of a. We have to get the value of a, b, and c, and d. I think this is the repeated quadratic factors. Also get the value of b, and then s equals to 0, and distribute the 0, and it will become negative 1 over 16. And then we have to perform the com to solve the a, c, and d. So s squared minus 1 over s squared times s squared plus 16 is equals to a over s plus b over s squared plus c s plus d over s squared plus 16 times 2s squared quantity s squared times s squared plus 16, and then distribute the s squared times s squared plus 16. So we got that you can cancel the denominator. Also you can expand some of the given equation in order for you to get to solve or to get the coefficient or the value of coefficient easily. So first we have to get the value of the coefficient of s cubed, that is s cubed equals to 0 equals to a plus negative 1 over 16, and the value of a is 1 over 16, so coefficient of s squared is equals to 1 equals to 1 over negative 16 plus c. So the value of c is, we have to 1 plus 1 over 16. It will become 17 over 16. So the value of coefficient of s is 0 is equals to d plus 1 over 16. The value of d is 1 over 16. So next is we have to distribute the value of each letter a, b, c, and d, and get the inverse Laplace transform of each of the given. And then we have to remove the coefficient whole number. We have to move outside and get the inverse Laplace transform of each given which has s. So that's final answer. So we have letter D, which is x of s equals to 3s minus 5 over s times s squared minus 2s plus 5. So we have to get the inverse Laplace transform using the partial fraction. First we have to equal to a, over s plus b s plus c. I think this is a quadratic factors. We use quadratic factors. So we have to get the value of a. So we have 3s minus 5 over s squared minus 25 plus 5. Forgot to put s, which is time to s. I'm right. So we have to distribute to 0. So the value is negative 5 over 5, and it will become negative 1. So next step is we have to use com to solve for the value of b and c. So we have to distribute the s times s squared minus 25, 2s plus 5. So we have to cancel some of the denominator if we distribute it. And it will become as 3s minus 5 equals to negative 1, which is the value of a. S squared times s squared minus 2s plus 5. And then get the coefficient of s squared, which is equals to 0. Minus 1 plus b, so the value of b is 1. And then coefficient of s equals to 3 minus negative 1 plus c, so the value of c is 4, because 3 plus 1 is 4. So get the inverse Laplace transform of each given. So negative 1, which is the value of a, 1 is the value of b, and then 4 is the value of c. And then we have to get the inverse Laplace transform. We have to remove the negative 1 to outside, and then get the inverse Laplace transform of s plus 4 over s squared minus 2s plus 5. So we have to factor that out. Plus 4. We have to factor the denominator. So it will become negative 1 plus the Laplace transform of s minus 1 plus 5 over s minus 1 quantity squared plus 4. So here we have to perform the inverse Laplace transform using the 4B method and the tabular method also, of course. So we get the inverse Laplace transform of s over s squared plus 4. It will become e raised to t. So negative 1 plus e raised to t inverse Laplace transform of s over s squared plus 4 plus the s minus 1 plus 6. S minus 1 plus 6 is 5 in order to balance over s minus 1 quantity squared plus 4. So we have to put the final answer. No, not yet. We have to perform the Laplace transform of negative or inverse Laplace transform of 6 over s squared plus 4. So we have negative 1 plus e t cosine of 2t. Cosine of 2t is the value of tabular method Laplace transform of s over s squared plus 4. So final answer, negative 1 plus e raised to t cosine of 2t plus e raised to t. We have a 3 half is put because in order to balance the given, so that's the final answer. So learnings is we have to familiar or master or memorize the distinct factors repeated factors, quadratic factors, and repeated quadratic factors in order for us to solve the inverse Laplace transform easier, or it make us easy to find the inverse Laplace transform of a given equation. So next is we have to familiarize the coefficient method in order to solve for some of the given letter, and use the com to solve the given letter. And also we have to familiarize or master the algebra so that we can manipulate the algebra. Most of it are in denominator and in numerator. So the last one is we have to master or familiarize the algebra factorial method so that we can perform the fraction forms in expansion.